It's been a really long time since I've done any sort of update about my reading or currently reading, so I just want to take the time today to show you guys and talk to you guys a little bit about the books that I've been reading for the month of May. So, first off, for the month of May, I did finish reading Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. This was for one of my physical book clubs, and we're going to be meeting next week and talking more about it. I don't really have anything to contribute in terms of my impressions of it, but I can tell you that one of the most heartwarming things about this book and the experience of reading this book in a book club is that a couple of members are not adult fiction readers or not adult contemporary fiction readers, and they really had such a strong and positive reaction to this book. So much so that one of them actually placed an order for some more of Mohsin Hamid's books. So, this has been just really positive, I think, in terms of introducing some people to some different spheres of literature, and hopefully they'll maybe want to continue with it. As of 2 days ago, I finished reading The Animators by Kayla Whitaker. This was a debut novel and was included on the 2018 Tournament of Books list, which I am currently trying to get through. But this follows two women, Sharon Kisses and Mel Vaught. They meet each other in college while they're both studying animation, and we meet them about 10 years later when they have built a business and a partnership working on their own animation projects. And this kind of documents their life together in this time and sort of the trials and tribulations and losses and successes and personal chaos that ensues when you know somebody for that long. I don't want to talk too much about it because I do plan on doing an extended discussion of some other books that I read in April along with it, but all I can say is, damn girl, damn. If you guys are interested in seeing any reviews, The Poptimist did a really good one that I will link down below, so go check that out anytime if you're interested. Another book I finished this month earlier was The Finishing School by Muriel Spark. And I listened to this on audiobook. And I can't recall the narrator's name, but I'll find it and I'll put it in the description box. I think moving forward with Muriel Spark, I want to read physical copies. For some reason, I'm getting the feeling that she's maybe better as a handheld author versus an audiobook author. And I don't want to blame the narrator for my lukewarm feelings toward the book, but I think I'm going to have to. And the reason for that is she had a great voice for narration, but I feel like she would be better reading books like Jane Eyre or any of the Brontes or Jane Austen. It's more of like a period piece kind of voice. And I found myself just being taken out of the story a lot because I kept thinking that we were in a different time. And so when she would mention things like cell phones or laptops or anything modern, I would sort of be startled into reality, forgetting where I was. So it just made for this very disorienting kind of feeling. So like I said, just moving forward, I think that Muriel Spark is probably more of a handheld author, but I am very much interested in rereading that book and continuing on with some more Spark books. So another audiobook that I'm listening to right now is Dandelion Wine by Bradbury. I initially heard of this book on Caleb's channel and was instantly interested in reading it. But this is following Douglas Spalding, who is 11 years old. It's the summer of 1928 or 29, and he is in Illinois, surrounded by all of his family, grandparents and aunts and uncles and his brother. And what I'm getting from it right now is that it's sort of, I believe it's a coming of age story, but it's sort of grappling with where imagination is ending and reality is taking over, this precipice between childhood and adolescence or childhood and adulthood, and the roles that start to reveal themselves within that space. And all of this is set against a beautiful backdrop of Illinois and a lot of gorgeous descriptions of environment and light and agriculture and bugs. And they also happen to make Dandelion wine on this property that they're on. So I could be way off with that assessment of what this book is or where it's going, but so far that's what I'm receiving from it. So we'll see. I'll keep on with it and let you guys know. Another book I'm reading right now is The Sick Bag Song by Nick Cave. He, in 2014, was on a 22-city North American tour and started writing song lyrics and poems and musings onto sick bags on airplanes, onto the barf bags, though the barf bag song doesn't sound as nice as the sick bag song. But Nick Cave is somebody who's been on my radar for a number of years, but I've just started to dig my heels into his discography and have just been blown away, just shattered by the things that I'm hearing. So I am so excited to read this, and thus far it has been equally as beautiful as the music that I've been hearing. So interested to keep going on with this, and we'll let you guys know more about it when I finish. In April, you guys heard me mention Kill or Be Killed by Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, and Elizabeth Breitweist. So I read volume 1 in April, and I'm going to be cracking on with volume 2 and volume 3. Now, just to recap, this was a story about a graduate student who, after a failed suicide attempt, committed his life to vigilante justice. But the story is so much more complex than that. There's so many more little intricacies and complexities that are so well done. I'm so blown away by this series. It feels like the writer and everybody involved in this book is giving it enough room to allow it to organically unfold. I know that sounds like really pretentious and wishy-washy, but there's something about this level of expertise and people who've really honed in on their craft where it just seems effortless. It's effortless and it's simple, and it doesn't require a lot to be able to tell a really fantastic story. So again, I've only read volume 1 and I'm halfway through volume 2, but I feel like I have a commitment to these books, and I'm very interested to see how this shapes up. But I'm really loving this series, and if you guys have any interest in Ed Brubaker or any interest in stories like this, then definitely give this one a go. It has reinvigorated and re-inspired me to want to read Fade Out. I only got through volume 1 of Fade Out, but I'm really invested in going back and taking a second look at that story. So yeah, I'll let you guys know more about that one as well. And the last book that I'm reading this month is Moravagine by Blaise Cendrars. This book I stumbled upon while just sort of thumbing through the depths of Goodreads, but this is about a man who is a descendant of a wealthy aristocratic family. And when we meet him, he is in a hospital for the criminally insane. He's institutionalized. And with the help of his psychiatrist, he escapes. He is described, this man, as a mutant and a monster. And together they embark on a just ridiculous, over-the-top crime spree. They go all around the world just committing horrendous crimes and come back in time to Europe for World War I. And it says this is where the whole world is doing a Moravagine. So I'm very interested to find out what that means. This is not something that I would recommend willy-nilly to anybody. I think that if you have a weak stomach for hyper-violence, that you should do yourself a kindness and not bother. But if it is something that you feel intrigued by, as I did, definitely check it out. I don't know how well known this author is in America, but incidentally, this is one of Jim Jarmusch's favorite books. So Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today, but I will definitely check in when I finish these books. But if you have anything to add, if you have read any of these books, if you love these books, if you hate these books, or anything you want to say in the comments, go ahead and leave one. And I hope you guys have a really good day. So I'll see you soon. Bye.